The James Webb Space Telescope, our best tool for looking at space, just sent back some wild pictures of Pluto. These pics are changing everything we thought we knew about that icy chunk of rock. Turns out, Pluto's way more complicated and active than anyone guessed. Forget the idea of a dead, frozen world. There are signs of hidden oceans, geological activity, and weird chemicals that we can't really explain. Scientists are both excited and scratching their heads. The big surprise is Sputnik Planitia, that heart-shaped area on Pluto. We thought it was just nitrogen ice, but now they think there's a huge liquid ocean hiding underneath. This ocean could be a game-changer in the search for life. Since it's protected from the harshness of space, there's a real chance that tiny microbes could be living down there. On the surface, there are crazy mountains of ice as tall as the ones on Earth, and plains that are super smooth, which means something's been happening recently. Nobody expected so much activity on a world we thought was frozen solid. Heat from inside Pluto makes the nitrogen ice move around like a slow lava lamp. It's not a dead world, that's for sure. Now Pluto joins other icy bodies like Europa and Enceladus as places that might have life under the ice. Water and chemicals could be doing their thing, maybe even making life possible. Finding even tiny life on Pluto would totally change how we think about where life can exist. Pluto's relationship with its moon, Charon, is also really odd. They're almost the same size, so they pull on each other, making heat inside and changing both worlds. Charon's got its own weird stuff going on too, like big canyons and a strange red color. Maybe they used to be connected somehow, with stuff moving from Pluto to Charon, who knows, maybe even the building blocks of life. We wouldn't know any of this without the James Webb Telescope. It sees infrared light, so it could peek under Pluto's icy crust and see things that other telescopes missed. It found chemicals and temperature differences showing just how complex this world really is. Pluto's air is thin but weird. It's mostly nitrogen with some methane and carbon dioxide. This makes layers of haze way up high. As Pluto goes around the sun, its air changes a lot. When it's closer to the sun, the ice turns into gas and makes a temporary atmosphere. When it's farther away, the air freezes back onto the ground. It's a crazy cycle. Both Pluto and Charon have reddish spots, probably from chemicals called tholins. These tholins might be important for making life. Could they mix with the water ice and make the first building blocks of life? Scientists are dying to know. One of the biggest things is that Pluto might have a huge ocean under the ice. The heat from inside Pluto keeps it liquid. On Earth, we have deep-sea vents where life is everywhere. If Pluto's ocean is like that, who knows what could be living there? These new images and info have everyone talking. Scientists, governments, and regular people. Pluto's secrets could tell us a lot about the universe. It used to be just a tiny thing at the edge of the solar system, but now we see how much we didn't know. The Webb telescope's findings are just the start. Future missions will go even deeper, maybe even sending robots to explore Pluto's ocean. It's an amazing time for space exploration. Even though it's super far away, Pluto is still active. It makes its own heat, probably from stuff breaking down inside. This heat keeps the ocean liquid and makes the ice move around. Pluto doesn't have a strong magnetic field like Earth, but it still messes with the solar wind. The Webb telescope saw weird energy patterns around Pluto, which means it's interacting with the space around it. Pluto is just the beginning. We're going to explore even farther out, and it's going to be awesome. Pluto proves that even the most distant places can have cool stories to tell. Who knows what we'll find next? Pluto has gone from a cold, boring rock to a world full of surprises. It's got crazy geology, a weird atmosphere, and maybe even a hidden ocean. It's changing what we think is possible at the edge of our solar system. These discoveries remind us that even the most remote corners of space are full of secrets. Pluto is a symbol of hope and a reminder that there's still so much to explore. Could there be life there? What else is hiding under the ice? What can it tell us about where we came from? The story of Pluto is just getting started, and it's a reminder that the universe is vast, mysterious, and full of surprises. For years, Pluto was basically ignored, but the Webb telescope has made everyone excited about it again. Now we know that this faraway world might have answers to some big questions about life. Scientists are starting to think that life could exist in really extreme places, and Pluto's underground oceans might be the key. Maybe we'll even find clues about how life started in the first place. These findings are also changing how we explore space. Whether we find life on Pluto or just learn about distant planets, it'll change how we look for life elsewhere. People are even talking about sending a robot submarine to explore Pluto's ocean. The public is getting excited about space again, thanks to Pluto. Every new piece of info makes us wonder, could life exist where we thought it was impossible? This is also making more countries and companies get involved in space exploration, which means new tools and ideas are being developed. The Webb telescope is also changing how we think about habitable zones. We used to think that planets needed to be close to a star to have liquid water and life, but Pluto's ocean shows that life might be possible in colder places too. Maybe the key isn't being close to a star, but just having liquid water and the right chemicals. Pluto isn't just a tiny dot anymore. It's a symbol of exploration and the endless possibilities of space. It all started with a search for answers about Pluto, but it's turned into a quest to understand life, the universe, and everything. The next chapter of space exploration is happening right now, and Pluto is at the center of it all. As we learn more about Pluto and other icy worlds, we're sure to make even more amazing discoveries. The future is looking bright, and Pluto is a reminder of how much we still have to learn. What do you think about all this? Are you excited about the possibility of life on Pluto? Share your thoughts below and stay tuned for more space news. The info shows some wild secrets, totally flipping our old ideas of Pluto as just a frozen rock at the edge of the solar system. Turns out it's way more complicated and active than we ever guessed. There are hints of hidden oceans, stuff happening geologically, and weird chemicals that we can't quite explain. Scientists are both amazed and scratching their heads. Sputnik Planitia, that famous heart-shaped area on Pluto, is at the center of it all. What seemed like a big patch of frozen nitrogen might actually be hiding a huge liquid ocean underneath a thick layer of ice. This ocean could be a super important find in the search for life outside Earth. Since it's protected from space, there's a chance tiny life forms could have grown in those hidden depths. The surface of Pluto is still really mysterious. There are massive ice mountains as tall as the biggest ones on Earth and huge plains that are strangely smooth, which suggests recent geological activity. We never expected this kind of activity on a body we thought was frozen in time. Heat from Pluto's inside is causing movement under the icy shell, making the nitrogen ice flow slowly. All this points to a world that's not still at all but active. Even though it's super far from the Sun, Pluto is now on the list with icy moons and planets like Europa and Enceladus that might have life under their frozen surfaces. Water and stuff could be mixing in ways that help life grow, even if it's just a tiny life form. If we found any kind of life on Pluto, it would totally change how we see what places can support life in the universe, proving that life can be where we didn't think it could. What's cool is Pluto's relationship with its moon Charon. They're almost the same size, pulling on each other with gravity, heating things up inside, and causing changes on both worlds. Charon has its own mysteries, like deep canyons and a weird reddish color, meaning it probably shares history with Pluto. Maybe stuff from Pluto's surface is getting onto Charon, hinting at a chemical exchange that could have the basics for life. The James Webb Space Telescope made all these amazing finds possible. Its infrared tech lets scientists see under Pluto's icy crust, revealing details that earlier missions missed. By checking out Pluto's surface and air, the telescope found organic stuff in different temperatures, showing a world way more complicated than we thought. Even though it's thin, Pluto's air is surprisingly complex. It's mostly nitrogen with a little methane and carbon dioxide. This mix makes layers of haze that go hundreds of miles up. As Pluto goes around the Sun, its air changes a lot. When it's nearer the Sun, the ice turns into gas, making a temporary atmosphere. When it's farther away, the air freezes back onto the surface. It's a weird cycle that doesn't happen anywhere else in our solar system. These air changes give scientists a chance to study how far away things deal with crazy environments. The reddish spots on Pluto and Charon are pretty cool. They're probably made of tholins or organic stuff made when UV rays hit methane in the air. These tholins not only color the land, but also give clues to how life started, maybe pointing to chemical processes that led to life. Researchers are curious about how these things might mix with water ice under Pluto's surface. Could they, with other organic stuff, be the building blocks of life? That's what scientists are excited to find out. One of the coolest things about Pluto is that there might be a huge ocean under its icy crust. Heat from stuff decaying inside Pluto's core could keep it liquid. There are places like that on Earth, like deep-sea vents that are full of life. If Pluto's hidden ocean is similar, it could have tiny life forms or even more complex stuff. Finding out what's under Pluto's crust could change how we see where life can exist, suggesting that even the weirdest spots could have life. The release of photos and info from the James Webb Space Telescope has caused excitement all over the world. Scientists, governments, and just regular people are interested in what Pluto's secrets might tell us about the universe. For years, Pluto was seen as not that important, but these finds prove we don't know much about our neighbors in space. As we get more data, we're all waiting to see what answers we'll get. The discoveries made by the Webb telescope are just the start. Future missions will dig deeper into Pluto's mysteries. These trips could give us clear proof of its ocean and maybe even find life beyond Earth. Some folks are talking about sending robotic submarines into Pluto's hidden ocean, which would be an amazing thing that shows how far we've come in space travel. As tech gets better, the dream of exploring Pluto up close is getting real, giving us a chance to learn more about the universe. It's amazing that Pluto is still active, even though it's so far from the Sun. It makes enough heat to cause movement in its icy crust and keep a liquid ocean going. This heat might be from radioactive stuff decaying inside Pluto, releasing energy for billions of years. With gravity from Charon, this heat could explain why Pluto is still active and has a possible ocean. Even if Pluto doesn't have a strong magnetic field like Earth, its connection with the solar wind makes cool magnetic stuff, stripping away bits of its air and making a tail of particles that goes way out into space. The James Webb Space Telescope has picked up weird energy patterns around Pluto, suggesting stuff happens between its magnetic world and the Kuiper belt. These finds give us a rare look at how small planets work with their stars. The findings on Pluto are just the start. With future trips to the Kuiper belt, we're ready to explore new spaces in our solar system. Pluto has opened the door to so many possibilities, showing that even the farthest worlds can have crazy stories. As tech gets better, what we see in movies is becoming real, from robots exploring icy oceans to humans visiting the Kuiper belt. Pluto is a reminder that the universe is big, weird, and full of surprises. We used to think Pluto was a cold and empty world, but it showed us it's not that simple. From its changing geology and weird air to its possible hidden oceans and organic stuff, this faraway planet is testing what we think worlds on the edge of the solar system can be. The James Webb Space Telescope's photos and info have turned Pluto from just something we were curious about into a focus of space exploration. These discoveries remind us that even the most faraway spots in our solar system are full of secrets waiting to be found. Looking forward, Pluto is something that gives us hope. Its mysteries encourage new missions, new tech, and important things we need to ask about our place in the universe. Could Pluto have life? And what can it tell us about where our planet came from? The story of Pluto is far from over, and every time we find something new, it reminds us that the universe is huge, unknown, and full of surprises. But we must explore. As we keep pushing what we can do in space, the story of Pluto is a reminder that there are endless possibilities. For years, this planet was seen as just a spot at the edge of our solar system, but the James Webb Telescope has made everyone interested in it again, offering a look into its potential to change how we see life in the cosmos. The mysteries Pluto contains are far from solved. With each trip, scientists are more convinced that this world way out there may offer ideas about how life can exist in tough, remote spots. Discovering more about Pluto may eventually lead to new ways to see the formation of life itself and the existence of places that can support life far from the Sun. The findings so far have implications for future space travel. If we find life in Pluto's hidden oceans or new ideas about the composition of faraway planets, these findings will affect how we search for life on other planets within our solar system or beyond. The James Webb Space Telescope's discoveries about Pluto have opened up an entirely new chapter in our understanding of distant celestial bodies. It's not just about exploring a far-off object. It's about unraveling the potential for life in places that were once deemed too extreme to support anything living. As scientists pore over the new data, they're finding that Pluto's icy surface, once thought to be a static, frozen wasteland, is actually teeming with complexity. Every new detail revealed by Webb sparks new questions. How does Pluto manage to sustain its internal heat? Could its dynamic surface actually be signaling the presence of life-supporting processes? As we look deeper, we are learning that Pluto's environment is much more than just cold. The intricate chemical processes, such as the formation of tholins, might be a key ingredient in the story of life elsewhere in the universe. These organic compounds, potentially created by the harsh ultraviolet radiation from the sun interacting with methane and other gases, could play a role in the development of life's building blocks. Scientists are also considering how water and organic chemistry might mix in Pluto's subsurface ocean to create an environment where microbial life could thrive, much like the deep-sea vents on Earth. The interaction between Pluto and its moon Charon is another fascinating area of research. These two bodies, nearly the same size, have a gravitational relationship that creates significant geological effects. It's possible that this interaction could be driving geological activity beneath Pluto's frozen exterior, generating warmth and potentially fueling chemical reactions that could make life possible. Looking ahead, the excitement surrounding these findings is only growing. Scientists are already developing ideas for future missions, including robotic submarines to probe Pluto's deep ocean. These missions could unlock even more secrets about how life might exist in environments we once thought were inhospitable. The discoveries from the Webb telescope remind us that even the most distant worlds hold unexpected potential, encouraging continued exploration of the vast universe around us. Future trips to explore Pluto up close are exciting. Sending robots to Pluto's surface and deeper digs into its oceans could answer whether life could arise there. Scientists are already thinking of a robot that can go under Pluto's oceans, which would be a big achievement in space travel. This renewed interest in Pluto isn't just about science. The public is excited by space. New discoveries await,